Welcome to this week's Raid Tournament Sneak Peek Preview video. Each week on either Friday or Saturday, I'll provide these videos to let you know which tournament is arriving on Sunday. In this video, I will share this week's tournament, discuss the defense strategies, share winning defense teams from the last time we had this tournament, and lastly, I'll give insight into the defense team that I'll be utilizing. So let's jump in and check out this week's event. We're looking at a 3-star bloody battle with no nature heroes. Does that sound familiar? It should. We just had this event 3 weeks ago, but it included all elements. So the only change from 3 weeks ago is that nature heroes are not an option this time. As this event is a bloody battle tournament, that means there's no healing or resurrecting. This includes any hero that adds health or regenerates HP. They will not be able to do that in this tournament. This event, after all, is bloody. There is one small trick around the no healing, and that is using cheater healers. That is a hero that summons minions. Minions are basically meat shields that we can throw in front of our heroes and they absorb damage. Since minions can be typically summoned over and over again, it's like adding some level of healing as they keep introducing more and more HP into the battlefield. That said, this might be a good time to consider using the heroes that summons minions. As this is a 3-star event, there are only 2 heroes that, as part of their specials, summon minions. That's Kvasir, who has long since proven himself to be a strong hero in both attack and defense in these 3-star events, so he is absolutely worth considering. And we have Rudolph, who has the 3rd highest attack number of any 3-star hero, so he is also always an interesting character to consider for these events. Although there are only these 2 3-stars that provide minions from their specials, there's other ways to make this happen. 3-star Nordri, who is not pictured here, is from the Jotunheim realm of Season 3 Valhalla. He calls up an ice giant minion for all his allies when he's killed. So that might be one way to get minions into this event. And Nordri's worth considering since there is no nature, which means ice is strong for this event. There's other ways that we can sneak minions, and that's through using any emblemed druid class hero. That includes 3-star Malia, Jarver, Kvasir, who we already talked about, and Costume Gunnar. Now, Costume Gunnar I do not prefer on defense. I prefer classic Gunnar, so I would not recommend using him just for the druid. I prefer his special, and he's going to be the tank for this game with his regular outfit, not the costume. Kvasir, we already mentioned. He is a phenomenal hero. It's actually kind of sad that he's a druid class hero because the druid minion sometimes gets in the way of his bees. Malia is always worth considering. She is a phenomenal 3-star hero. Fast mana, hits everybody. She is the most used defensive hero in 3-star tournaments, so she is always worthy of consideration and almost always worthy of giving a spot on a team. The last hero that's a druid class and may summon a minion if you have emblems on them is Jarver. I've not used Jarver much. I'm a bit turned off by a hero that stacks specials and takes 10 specials to max out. I can't imagine a scenario where a hero has ever fired their special 10 times in a tournament battle. That's not to say that Jarver is not worthy consideration. He may be terrific, but he definitely does not fit my playstyle or strategy. Other specials that are worth considering in a bloody battle are those specials that protect our team from taking on any damage in the first place. After all, we don't need healing if we've never been hurt. The heroes I'm talking about are the ones that provide taunt, repost, reflect, or dodge and evade. For 3-stars, there is not currently any hero that provides reflect or repost, and the only 3-star with taunt is nature hero, so they're not available this week. That leaves us with dodge, and there is actually not any 3-stars that have dodge either. But what we could consider is rogue class heroes that evade as their skill if you have emblems on them. There are only 3 rogue heroes in the 3-star level that are available this week. One of those is Agnes, who, although she hits really strong, she has terrible health and defense. In fact, she is the 2nd lowest health defense hero in the game. The only one worst is Muggy. Next, we have Dawa, who, her claim to fame is being everybody's favorite meme. I don't know that I would consider her for a defensive team, although I am excited for her new costume that'll be coming out. She will basically be the holy female version of Bjorn, with hitting two people pretty hard. Lastly, we have Carol, who obviously I like. I got 20 emblems on him. I do recommend Carol, and he is worth considering this week, considering not only is he rogue and will evade, but he's an ice hero, which means he will be strong on defense since there is no nature heroes. I would also always recommend considering any hero that increases your team's defense and or mana generation, and likewise any hero that reduces the attacker's defense and or their mana abilities. Second to that would be attack increasers. 3 stars that increase defense include Gunnar, who is going to be the tank of choice, and Kalani, who is basically a holy version of Gunnar. Gunnar, though, is going to be the tank of choice this week because he is ice and there is no nature, so he'll be strong. In fact, the last time we had this exact tournament, there were 4 Gunnar tanks in the top 5 places. So if you have Gunnar, you're going to want to use him as your tank this week. For increase in mana generation, I really like using Botchin. He not only increases the mana generation of our team by 24%, but he whacks 20% of the mana off of the attacker, which is phenomenal. Valen, another ice hero, so might be strong this week with no nature. He does negative 34% down to the enemy for 6 turns, which is a great length of time. Unfortunately, he only does it to 1 hero. And then I also really like to use Chochin, Dark 3-star hero. He is good at crippling the generation of mana for the enemy. Lastly, for these events, I would also consider any damage over time dot heroes, as they can be great in these events because even if they're killed, they're still delivering some damage to the enemy that can't be healed. 2 other things worth considering in a bloody battle is how stout our heroes are. If we use heroes with high defense, high health, they can absorb a lot more damage before they die. Also, speed is important. We are most likely taking on some amount of damage every single turn, so time is of the essence. Looking at the past winners of 3-star bloody battles, we do not see very many slow heroes, with the exception of Gunnar, who is one of the best, if not the best tanks for these events. Now let's check out the winning team from the last time we had this event. Now this is the same heroes they had, but not the exact same team, as their team power was only 2436. Which just goes to show you don't necessarily have to have your heroes built up this high to win one of these events. So the heroes that they used were Ulmer, Nordri, Gunnar, who I said is the tank of choice, Vodnik, and Malia. This is actually close to the team that I ran last time. The order of the heroes was slightly different, and I used Botchin instead of Malia. Anyway, Gunnar is obvious as the tank. He's the best tank for 3s, and particularly for this event since there's no nature. Ulmer is great because Ulmer has defense down to all enemies. And then you have Nordri, who is going to give elemental defense down, which stacks with Ulmer's defense down. So that's 2 defense downs, and then Vodnik just hits really hard, especially if they have some mana built. He hits even harder. And Malia, fast hero that hits everyone, has a strong hit. She's a phenomenal hero. So this was a solid team. Not too surprising that it was a winner. Now, if you want to have some fun in this event and copy a really interesting team, the last time we had this event, the 5th place team had a Gunnar tank surrounded by 4 Kvassars. So there were 2 B guys on either side of the Gunnar tank. I hope whoever fought that brought an EpiPen with them for all those bee stings. All right, let's take a look at my team for this week. I'm going to be running a variation of the team I ran last time. Last time I ran Nordri, Botchin, Gunnar, Ulmer, Vodnik. This time I'm swapping out Ulmer for Kvassar. As mentioned numerous times, Gunnar is the tank of choice, so that will be my tank. I'm going to flank him with Botchin for killing the enemy's mana and increasing the mana of my team. Kvassar, for obvious reasons, those bee stings can really wipe out an enemy. And then the wings are going to be Nordri and Vodnik for the same reasons that the last winner used them. Nordri for the elemental defense down, and then Vodnik for the killer hit. I also pulled out Ulmer just because he's a slow hero, and I also pillaged all of his emblems. So Kvasir with the fast speed gets that spot. Feel free to share your team in the comments below so myself and other viewers can provide feedback on your setup. For this week's tournament, I hope your defenses are sturdy, your attacks strong, and the tiles fortunate. Thanks for watching.